Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. That's March the 20th, 2025, 6:56 a.m. early morning update from just north of downtown Detroit, inside the Vincenzo car in the great state of Michigan, with falling temperatures. Jay, do you know what the temperature is outside the compound? No, what is it? 48 degrees, Jay, with some rain and snow showers moving in this afternoon and falling temperatures as the high has been set for today just after midnight, and we will end up near freezing by late afternoon today. Well, thank you for that update. We ask you to bell notification, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Yes, just as a growing number of people have helped support and helped spread us in changing the narrative in crypto from fleecing and heisting and scams and fraud and manipulators into truth, education, trust, and information. Most importantly, become member of 399 Jabroni Killers to help support the channel, to keep this information flowing and pumping freely. And I just wanted to make this brief update because I did fall asleep very early last night, so I didn't do my daily nightly video. There was a video put out at lunchtime like normal. There will be a lunchtime video today, but since unfortunately I was tired yesterday and fell asleep very, very early, I just wanted to give you an early morning update this morning because I did miss that video last night. So you're getting a special video this morning so we can see what was going on. The Federal Reserve yesterday did not lower rates. They kept the rate paused in effect, so there was no lowering of the overnight benchmark for the Federal Reserve interest rate. They kept it at 4.25 to 4.5, which is the second month in a row, second meeting in a row they have not lowered, and they have not lowered at all this year. And crypto was up yesterday a little bit, but it was based off the technical level bounce. You can see if we zoom in here in the daily time frame, we're sitting here just above the 100-day moving average, and the 100-day moving average is sitting there at $85,000. We have that bearish cross. The 50 is downtrending there, as you can see, and I do believe that that's going to reject you in the daily time frames. If we go into the 4-hourly, that's where we're going to do these from. You can see we were just above the 200 in green there at 85. We got rejected, and we're sitting pretty much just on the 200-day moving average. And I think that as high as you're going to go, if this continues to the upside, would be that $89,000 level up here. And this is a level we were talking about for several days on a potential short-term pump. But on the next move to the downside, I do believe you're going to come all the way down here to the 73,811.84. That's your next major move to the downside. And from there, that's a major support level. We could have a nice little return rally from there, but then I believe we're going to continue down because I do think we're in this head and shoulders, and this is part of why you become members of this channel, for the first mover advantage, for the truth and education that you get here first before the rest of the social media influencers, insiders, and mainstream catches on. We've been telling you we're in this head and shoulders, topping out reversal pattern, and the neckline is down here at, the neckline is down there at 58,000 and change, and once we hit that neckline, there's going to be a pretty big rally, I believe, to form that right shoulder, just like you've seen in XRP, where you got down to about $1, 80 something and change, and then you had a ferocious rally back up to $3 on that manipulated move with the news that came out a couple of weeks ago, but that was just to build a right shoulder. I think you could have a ferocious rally like that in the Bitcoin price as the head and shoulders that we're in. When you come down to that neckline, I think you could have a ferocious rally from about the $58,000 level, and I've had some questions on that could pump you all the way up to potentially back to $90,000. Somewhere between $75,000 and $90,000, which would be a 50 to 60% move from the $58,000 level, but that's for down the road. But in the short term, I think we're going to start to get rejected as that bearish cross and the descending 50 is going to run into the price. and I think it's going to force it down to 73,000. If we go to XLM, you can see another coin that we have had a pretty nice rally on. Oh, it's awfully windy today. Was off of this major support level. If we go back into the 4-hour time frame, we've been talking about bouncing last week off of this major support level that's down here at about the 25 cents, and we have bounced off it, and we've continued up, and you can see where we're at now. We're sitting right at the 200-day moving average, and the 50 up there at $31 in the daily is quickly declining, and I think that's going to be the overhead pressure, the overhead push, to potentially and possibly push this back down to that 25-cent level, because I do believe eventually we're coming down here to the 18-cent level on the downside, and then from the 18-cent level, I believe you could have a pretty nice rally from about the 18-cent level, potentially back as high as the 100-day moving average, depending how fast this happens, up there between about 29 and 33 cents, which would be a pretty big move from down here. It is very gusty winds out of the west, as we have a cold front moving through after a major winter storm pulled off to our northwest, again, for the third time in 14 days, having a blizzard out in Nebraska, Kansas, northern Iowa and western Iowa, and the southern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin, and the upper peninsula of Michigan. But you can see that that would be a nice 57% move if we got back up into the 29-cent range, or if we got as high as the 32, 33. That's a 72% move from the 18-cent level, bouncing off of there. But I don't believe that would be the break of the bear market. It would just be a middle of the ground bear market rally. So that's some of the stuff that I'm watching for in the XLM price. If we look at the XRP price, we've been talking about how we could potentially come up to that $2.55 level from last Friday, when we were sitting back here at the neckline and this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern, and the price did pump up again with the news coming out yesterday that the court case has been resolved. The 4-year hiatus and the legal battle with the SEC is officially over now. So there is no more news to break on that. It is officially over, and we did pump up to that $2.55 level, an area that we talked about. But yesterday's afternoon video, we were talking about, was this just a reactionary pump in a short time frame based off the news, or would the volume be there to help you sustain that rally? But you can see there at about the 12 o'clock down there just before, you have the one big candlestick in volume down here. You see that? The one big candlestick in the hour time frame, and then it quickly declined. So that leads me to believe that that pump there is going to give it all back, because there hasn't been any follow-through. It was a reactionary pump based on people hearing the news and trying to jump in thinking there was going to be a massive rally. But I think that was just a technical move. We're sitting at the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame. I think we're going to start to trade down. We're going to watch it closely over the next day or two to see if there is any follow-through. But first reaction to it, coming off of that 12 hours ago, or almost 24 hours ago, there doesn't seem to be any follow-through in volume. And I'd be watching now for this price to come back down to the 100-day moving average at $2.29. It may be by the end of the week or the weekend, maybe it could even come all the way back down to the neckline at $2.09. So we're going to continue to follow that for y'all. We'll get into some more of the news later on today. You can see clearly the head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. How that was a telegraph pump that we called out and was warning about last Friday from about the neckline, where you wick down just above the 200-day moving average at $1.93. We were talking about how that could pump up because it didn't have to break the neckline yet, and it did not break the neckline, and it came up to a technical level that we thought it would or should or could come up to, and it did. And the news breaking by the judge finally closing the case and the settlement after over 4 years. We'll watch out what's going on. And if you look at the daily time frame, you can see the volume was not overly impressive. it had the 1 hour candle spike that really pushed the volume and skewed the volume a little bit higher than it is. So we'll see where this daily candle ends out at and see what happens there. But I would be watching out for a retest of the 100-day moving average at $2.29. But we'll be watching it closely to see if we can't break above that 255 with some more volume come in, right? AMP is trying to break out of this falling channel, right? See it there? See this long falling channel that we've been in ever since December? So it's been over 3 months. And I do believe there's going to be some kind of a reactionary pump here based off it being down 80%, based off it being in a falling channel, which is a bearish continuation pattern as you see. But eventually, as the pattern exhausts itself, it is a bullish reversal pattern. So I do think there's going to be some kind of forceful pump in the next couple of weeks. But where it starts from, I don't know. I don't believe it's going to be long sustained, but I think there could be a 50 or 80 or even 100% move from the current price or from wherever it breaks out of its falling channel at. I think there's going to be a big, quick move to get the oversold and to get some of the shorts out, right? And to get some of the momentum back in after it's been down for so long. So that's something that I am watching out for, that I am fairly confident that there's going to be some kind of a pump here in the shorter term time frame, and I'm going to continue to watch out for that for you as we follow through. I did have a commenter ask if I could talk about DIA, and then I'm getting into work here, so I'm going to have to let you go. DIA is down there at a technical level out that head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern that you've seen right there. We had a technical target down there at 0.34 cents. We've hit that 34 cents beautifully. We think eventually we're going down to 25 cents. But right now you've completed a technical move out of that head and shoulders reversal pattern in red there that we have highlighted with the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. And we're at a technical level at the bottom. We've completed a technical move to 35 cents. And then we're at a technical support level at the bottom part of this red trading zone. So I think there could be some kind of a move up, potentially up to 50 cents or maybe even as high as 68 cents. Doesn't necessarily have to happen, but I could see this short-term bounce continue after fulfilling a technical move out of that head and shoulders and being on another major support level, right? Like, subscribe, and share. Become part of the movement. Become part of the solution and change to bringing truth and trust and information and education back into the cryptocurrency sphere. Peace and love to my beautiful audience.